weeks away. What's your early selection for the WSB Met?
I do give the 3-year-olds a very good chance if they do take part in a race like the Met, because they do come in with a very low weight. But I'm going to be leaning towards Jet Dark once again. They've taught him how to settle. He settles much better in his races, and he can really turn it on. And I don't see the 2,000-meter trip being a problem at all. So I see a lot of value with Jet Dark for the Met.
You, Daryl?
I have to agree with Darren, Clyde. He was super impressive. Despite being slow, he got some cover, and he took off. He put the race to bed going through the last 150 meters. He was certainly getting stronger, better and stronger, and the 2,000 is certainly within his reach.
Okay, well, at the end of the day, I think where we are right now is just to quickly show you the forecast for this weekend. Yeah, it's going to be a great Met. Jet Dark may be the one to beat. Commenting, I think it's going to be cherry ripe. And I thought that Marina ran an absolute cracker. So we've got to watch out for Marina as well. All right, let's get into this weekend. Some lovely horses running, guys, as far as this weekend is concerned. There's some standout bets, I would have thought. Well, I'm hoping anyway. Would you guys agree?
Yes, I would agree. There are a couple of really decent up-and-coming horses running tomorrow that I'm excited to see back in action.
Okay. And you, Daryl?
Yeah, some lovely horse flesh lining up on Saturday, Clyde. Let's just hope the forecasted rain stays away. We have had some overnight rain. Actually, by me, I think we got 45 mils, but I see in the Turffontein region, they only recorded 24 mils. So the track is good to soft, and as long as the rain stays away, it's all systems go for a lovely day's racing.
Okay, brilliant. All right, well, just a reminder about the WhatsApp on 0691643272. We've started WhatsApp group number 4 now. So thanks for those who have joined. Welcome, and hopefully it will be beneficial for you. To all of our those logos, everybody who's helped us with the show, those who promote Weighted to Win at their discretion, we really appreciate it. Sometimes we use some of the guys' here's information in order to enhance the show, and they've welcomed us to do so. So we're most grateful. The scratchings at this stage, I've only got Rise 1 in the 8th race as a scratching. We've showed you that there was a bit of rain last night. They've had 24 mils, so it's a good to soft track. And as you'll notice up top there, they're expecting a little bit more with some chance of thunder showers tomorrow, so watch out for it. But let's get straight on to the pick 6, the opening leg, which is naturally race number 4. And I'll come to Daryl. Let me start with you. I spoke to Paul Matchett. I just wanted to ask him about War of Athena. He said she's leaving next week for the Met. All being well, she's well for Saturday's race. It's naturally a prep run. He did say that, look, he was a little bit worried about maybe the bottom weights, look out for the bottom weights, but that perhaps he believes her class will pull her through. So she's well. Daryl?
Clyde, I'm sure the Connections want to head down to Cape Town on a high with their confidence up. And she comes into this race, so it is a pinnacle. She comes into the race best weighted, but like you touched on, it is a prep run, so she's not going to be cut in half, Clyde, to win a race like this. So that has its question marks. But in saying that, we're only 2 weeks away, so she's very close to being spot on, and her class can certainly pull her through. But if you like her chances, which most punters will, you have to respect the chance of number 10, Sent by Destiny. Now, they've met 3 times in the past, Clyde. It's 3-0 to War of Athena. But take note of their latest encounter where they met in the Garden Province behind Zarina. I think there was only 3 lengths separating them on that occasion, and Sent by Destiny is 8 kilograms better off. So on paper, she's going to go very close to reversing that form. I'm only putting 2 horses in the pick 6. I'm hoping the class pulls through of War of Athena, but it is a distance short of her best, so a healthy respect for Sent by Destiny, and I do believe the value lies with her at the current odds.
Okay. Darren, your take?
Well, I don't see much value with War of Athena. I am playing to beat her. She is the class horse in the race, but the 1400-meter trip, I don't mind a horse coming out fresh over 1400 after a bit of a break, and then they can always come through and win. But she has had the 3 runs back, and I think it might be a bit sharp for her. So she'll be doing her best work late. Horses that I fancy here, MK's Pride, 1400-meter specialist, done nothing wrong over the trip. And if you put a line through his last run where he had excuses, he's in with a big fighting chance here. Sent by Destiny at the weight with only 51 kilos and a 1 draw, she'll be right there at the finish. Others to consider, a horse like Ikigai. He bounced back to best form last time out when winning, and he wasn't disgraced in his previous start to that. And I think he'll be better suited to the 1400-meter trip with only 56 kilos. He's got to go into the play. And then another one to consider is Forever Mine. He's also a 1400-meter specialist. He was a bit disappointing up the straight last time out, but with the handy galloping weight, he likes to go to the front. He can stay on into the money.
Okay, so you're looking to maybe roll her with War of Athena, naturally it being a prep run. I just think she's such a classy horse. If anything for me, MK's Pride is probably the biggest danger, but interesting take on that particular event. Let's go to race 5 and stay with you, Darren, where Blanc is he's currently at 9 to 10. He's run twice, he's won twice, and on both occasions he seemed to win rather impressively. And the form lines seem to be working out. I mean, both form lines have been direct winners from there. Is it strong enough, and can we banker him?
I'm sure we can banker this one. I've been waiting for this horse for a couple of months now. He absolutely blew me away last time out. He played up in the gates. He didn't get the best of jumps, but he was a little bit green, a couple of lengths off the speed. And when asked a question, he turned it on within a matter of strides. And he won going away with ease. He could have won by double the figure, the margin that he did win by. So for me, Ablon, I think he's got a bright future. I think he could be a classic horse in time to come. Even though he's only had the 2 starts, he's won a maiden and a 90 handicap for 3-year-olds. I think he's got a bright future, and I'm bankering him in all bets.
Daryl, what's your take? Are you agreeing with Darren?
On paper, you have to agree. My biggest concern is the way he acted behind his antics behind the pens last time. He really misbehaved, and he's going to have to reserve his energy for the actual race and concentrate on racing, because if he's going to do that as he goes up the divisions, he's going to be caught out. I'd like to see him load quietly on tomorrow, because then I really believe a son of Silvano, like all of his progeny, they get better and stronger the older they get. So he could have a very, very bright future if he just focuses on the job at hand.
What's his biggest danger?
What I saw last time out, Clyde, I'm playing to beat him personally.
Okay.
I like the look of number 5 here, Emerald Princess. Just have a look at the progress she made from her maiden win to her 3rd run. She improved so many lengths because the field that she beat in her maiden was dead, Clyde. It was below average. And then she came out in a handicap, and it was a very, very decent performance. Then last time out, everything went wrong. I think 3rd run after arrest, back in trip is going to be 2 big positives in her armor over here. I like the way the race is going to pan out for her, because there's no doubt that Zanetto, drawn on the inside, is going to go forward. So she could get a lovely toe through. That's number 5, Emerald Princess. Just touching on Zanetto, on paper, in the book, you open the book and you think, oh, wow, he won unfancied. Well, she won unfancied, because she drifted from 16 to 10 to 33 to 10. Yeah. But there was a substantial amount traded on Interbet, Clyde, 500,000 plus on a first timer. That's a lot of money. So she was certainly fancied to run a Ford race on that occasion, and she got the job done.
And it's a powerful form line too, isn't it?
Yeah. Lion of the Desert, he's come out in 1-2. Timbavati River, he's a 2-time winner since then. And the 4th and the 5th place runners have also won. So, off a mark of 67, she could certainly be ahead of the handicapper. And then number 2, look yourself. You know, this course and distance, Clyde, she's very, very competitive. Have a look at her penultimate start at level weights with Castletown. She ran alongside him. Put Castletown in this race and you'll give him healthy respect.
Yeah.
My only reason I'm playing against Ablon is because what I saw last time at the pens. But if I know that they've worked on him and he's settled and he goes in as like a lamb, he'll certainly be the horse to beat, Clyde.
Well, let me ask your opinion on the price. Will he drift?
I think he might trade closer to 14 to 10 race time because this field isn't dead and buried. There are some horses with that could have bright futures ahead of them over here.
Okay. Well, that's your take on that race. Different opinions from both Darren and Daryl. It'll be interesting to see how well Blanc behaves when he goes to the start. Let's go to race number 6 on the card. And for those of you who bet race by race, perhaps watch that. Watch how he moves to the gate. Watch the presenter on course. Hopefully will give you some guidance, and the commentators that are there on Saturday as to what's going on behind the stalls. Let's go to race 6. Stay with you, Daryl, for now, where 7 Celestial Love is currently at 7-2. 10 Sweet Future 9-2, and then 6-1 about Battle Force. Open race. Do we go as many as we can here, Daryl?
Personally, I think it is very open. Just like in the first leg of the pick 6, that Pinnacle, this race favors the fairer sex, and Celestial Love comes out on top at 124, £1 ahead of Sweet Future. But I'm playing against them. Well, I've got healthy respect for them, but they're not in my top 2 picks. My pick over here, Clyde, is number 1, Bahika. Now, last time out from a 1 draw in yielding conditions, you can just put a line through that, Clyde. Go back, I think, to the 3rd of July. He pulverized a mare called True to Life. True to Life. Now, up the Turffontein straights, she is deadly. She's always going to give over her best, and he absolutely toyed with her on that occasion. And have a look who ran 3rd on that occasion. A horse called Battle Force. He beat him by 7 lengths, and Bahika's 2 kilograms better off on this occasion. So there's no doubt in my mind, number 1, Bahika represents a value in the race. But in saying that, I've got very, very healthy respect for Battle Force. Now, in his last start, Clyde, he certainly wasn't favoured at the weights, and that run in the Bella was a much better effort than what it appears on paper. And he goes the extra 100 meters. So I'm going to tip Bahika to beat Battle Force, but then you can't discount the chances of Riverstown. He's going to feel like he's got loose with 50 kgs of his on his back, and he comes in quite favorably treated on a few runs of year. Just go back to that Battle Force. I think he's 6 kilograms better off for a 4-length beating. So he has to go in. And then I've thrown in Wasim. Muzieni gets a good tune out of him. Put a line through his last starts. I think he's better than that. But I'm going to tip Bahika as the value in the race.
Interesting that I'm just having a look at the market here with this horse. When I put this betting up, which wasn't long ago, Bahika wasn't in the betting. He's now, I see he's 7-1, the latest betting. He's shortened. So they obviously, their money has come for him already. I think he was like 10, perhaps 10-1, maybe after Vasim. And the snapshot couldn't get him in at the time, but he's definitely shortened, Daryl, just for your information. He has come into the market. So he's pretty much alive if the market's anything to go by. Interesting summary. Darren, what do you say?
I find it a very open race. You know, I see the favorite Celestial Love at 7-2. And, you know, she's only had the 1 run since the 1st of May, 2021. When pulling out of the race 50 lengths back or more than that. So she's going to have to prove herself once again before I can back her again. And she's drawn 1, which probably isn't going to be the best of draws down the straight with the soft underfoot conditions. So I'm going to lean towards Battle Force as my first selection. He is drawn middle outside. His last start over 1,000 meters, they just went a bit too fast for him. He'll enjoy the step up to 1,100 meters, and he's a very, very good horse on his day. He's a grade 1 winner, and he'll be the horse to beat. Over horses like Sweet Future, drawn hard up on the outside, 53.5 kilos. She came down for the Southern Cross Stakes, wasn't disgraced, beaten under a length by the winner, Kitty Cat Chat, that day. Then Riverstown, 50 kilos on his back. He's very effective over this sort of trip and this course. And then others to consider, the top weight Bahika. He has only had the one run back after a lengthy layoff. I would have liked to have one more run to tighten up, but he should be thereabouts. And then Riverine, who never runs too far back. He ran 2.5 lengths off Battle Force in his penultimate start, so he shouldn't be far behind him again.
Yeah. All right, so it's a hard race. I think Sean Carey's horse is in there too. It was like Eden Rock as a, that horse has got so much class. He could easily win it. Eh? Don't leave Eden Rock out. Whatever you do, I think he's got to go
thrown
as
him
well.
in the pick six.
Yeah, and you're right about Riverstown. The 4 kilos off that back, 50 kilos on its back. It could be anything. But all right, so we've discovered, and you heard there from Daryl. Thanks to him for pointing us in the direction of Bahika as well. Outside. Let's have a look at the 7th race, Darren, Under Your Spell and Big Burn. I thought an absolute 2-horse race. I'm not sure if there's anything else in there that you like.
Well, it does look at 2-horse race. I've opted to go 3 runners in the pick 6, but Under Your Spell, she had a little pipe opener last time out over 1,000 meters. She only got into the race when the race was over. Master Archie got first run on her. She came on late for second. And a penultimate start, that good second behind Big Burn. There's not too much separating them. And Big Burn, she'll probably go to the front and set the fractions up front. And she's got a very good burst of speed. But I think Under Your Spell is going to be tracking her every move and will probably pounce at the right time. So I do find Under Your Spell my first choice to beat Big Burn. And then I've thrown in this filly Shield of Roses, the Acts of War 3-year-old. She's won 3 from 5 starts and then been unplaced in 2 other starts. She's beaten Desert Miracle on maiden on first time out. She matched Desert Miracle all the way to the line and beat her short head. And then she also beat a horse like Barney's Pride, and last time out beat Cara Luma going away. She's won 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3 over course and distance. And I think she could be better than her rating suggests. So I wouldn't ignore Shield of Roses here.
Let me ask you about Supreme Quest for a moment, because she beat Big Burn when they met in Durban, right?
She did beat Big Burn in Durban, but that day, Big Burn, she was drawn wide. She fought for her head all the way. So I wouldn't look too much into that form line.
So would you rule her out, Supreme Quest?
Yes, on her recent form, I think she's got a few lengths to find.
Okay. Daryl, 2-horse race, Daryl?
No, not at all, Clyde. Healthy respect for Shield of Roses. In her last start, she actually achieved a 107. Based on that, she's actually joined second best weighted over here. And that win, Clyde, you had to be super impressed. She was never in doubt. Going through the 600, she had the race won. I thought that was super, super impressive. And if she can just track the speed and show that turn of foot, she'll be right there at the finish. And on a line through Supreme Quest, Supreme Quest has competed against Under Your Spell and Big Burn. And on a line through Supreme Quest, Shield of Roses is going to be right there when the chips are down. Big Burn, desperately unlucky last time in the Magnolia. I mean, she was a winner all over except for on the line. Plus, she met a little bit of interference. And that form line has really stood up well. We've seen Zimbabwe and Winter Smoke win from that form line. She's very effective up this straight. She's going to be right there. And then Under Your Spell, last time out, like Darren said, she did well to get up for second in those sticky conditions. She's better over the 6 furlongs. She comes into the race best weighted over here. So she's another one of the leading lights over here. 3 horses are more than enough, Clyde. 1, 2, and 5.
Okay, interesting. I really truly thought it wasn't more than the top 2. I was, and in fact, leaning towards Under Your Spell after what I saw with her last time at the Val. She was quite far back. But okay, healthy respect for your opinion, Daryl. The 8th and Darren 8th race now. Then let's go to that the final leg of the jackpot run over the 1160, where they bet Clever Green at 14-10 and Spanish Boy at 4-1. Is it tough, or again, can we just depend on the 2 of them?
Clyde, if you want to back Clever Green, wait till race time. This is absolutely a ridiculous price. He's going to blow out in the markets. the horses he beats on debut, I know he's unexposed and he's got a lot of improvement to come, and he could be anything. I understand that. He could be a superstar because he was certainly getting stronger every yard that went by in his maiden. So, and he could be much better than he's currently rated. But you just have to look at who he beats on paper, Clyde. He beats Trust the Fire, Back to Basics. I mean, horses like Spanish Boy, Grappler, they'll beat those horses out of sight. I mean, you'll get double-digit margins at level weights. So there's absolutely no value at his current odds. He will blow out. He will start much bigger than what he is in the market currently. Spanish Boy, have a look at his four runs since returning from a rest. Very, very consistent. I thought he was a little bit fortunate last time out not to pick up a penalty. That was a hot race. We've actually seen the third and the fourth run, first and second at the Vaal on Thursday. And off his current rating, he's very, very competitive. There's no doubt at 4-1, he represents much more value. Then you've got horses like number 3, Grappler. He's had 6 starts with the blinkers and tongue-tied. Clyde, 3 wins, 2 seconds and a third. How is it possible to ignore his chances? And the quicker they go, the better it will favor him. So you can't leave him out. And then number 6, Barney's Pride. Last time out, it was too far for him. The trick of Ihak could be he's rested and gulled. He's got ability. He's shown that in the past. You have to throw him in. And number 2, Ultra Quick. I actually like the way he raced last time out. He didn't tear away. He wasn't doing too much. He settled beautifully in running, and he certainly got ability. I've got respect for the favorite, no respect at his current price, and I'm paying to beat him based on the betting.
Okay, that's Darryl's view. I back Spanish Boy, you know, that was the heritage run, that penultimate run to Bowie. And I thought he was going to move and go past. Last time, same thing. Okay, Smorgasbord's quite healthy. He's quite a decent sort at the end of the day. Smorgasbord, he's no slouch. So if Spanish Boy is going to ever get it right, this is his opportunity to do so. Darren, what do you think?
Yes, I think Spanish Boy definitely the horse to beat. That run to Smorgasbord was a really good run, and that was his first run back with blinkers. And previous to that, I mean, he ran a half a length behind Grappler. He is a kilo off for that run, not much separating them. Then you get a horse like Ultra Quick, who actually won his maiden over the 1450 by 5 lengths. And then they ran him over 12 and 1,000 since then. I think the reason why is because he can pull very hard, and they're trying to get him to settle before they go around the bend with him again. So I do believe he's looking for a bit further, but maybe he's just not quite ready for that. But he should be running on nicely. There's an interesting runner, Barney's Pride. He has been gelded. He ran a length and a half second behind Shield of Roses. I think on that sort of form, he can get involved. And then the favorite, Cleaver Green, I actually had a bet on him on debut. I watched him go to post, and I thought if he's any good, he'll win this race by a couple of lengths. And he came under a ride 400 out, and then he started to lengthen his stride, and he took over the lead with quite some ease and one going away. But when I look at what he beat, I can't take that kind of price about him. He is drawn on the inside. He's actually drawn in gate 1 with a scratching. So a couple of things not in his favor. He's going to have to step up his game here to win once again. Yeah.
Okay, so we're not in Cleaver Green's corner, certainly in terms of value, not right now. Okay, well let's move on to the 9th race on the card. And Darren, you were the last to talk, so let me stay with you and ask you what you think about this handicap in the last at the 84 level now. It's an 1800 meter, and I've seen this horse, Zeus. I've seen how he moves. I've watched him, and I'm impressed with him. He's had 2 runs, 2 wins. He just gives me the impression that he's going to get better and stronger, and not long from now, he may be, you may see him in feature races. That's the impression he's giving me. Have you got the same impression, or is he an ordinary horse?
Exactly the same impression. First time out, he was all at sea. He was under a hard ride. Gavin was changing stick from right to left to try and get him to concentrate. And then he took off late and got up on the line. And then he built on that effort. Next time out, he learned a lot from his debut run. He tracked the leaders, and when asked a question, he absolutely cruised past Besuye like he was standing still and lengthened away to win going away. I think the 1800 is going to be ideal for him. The 2 draw, and off his current mark of 55.5 kilos in an 84 handicap, I think this is a one-horse race. I think this is the end of my double with Ablon and Zeus and my 2 bankers in the pick 6. I'm not going to look past him. If I had to find anything to come close, a horse like Jean Carlos, I expected him to win last time out. He just never raised a gallop. I don't know what happened or if it pulled up unsound, but he was just never in the race. And on his previous 2 starts, he ran a good second behind a horse like Razor Hallelujah, who came out to win again. And I think he could be bounce back to best here. But for me, Zeus, hard to beat.
Daryl, the same for you, or you're looking to beat him?
Clyde, if you just had to remove the salt and watch this horse's debut compared to his win last time out, it's chalk and cheese. It's hard to believe it's the same horse. Because last time out, you have to be super impressed. He was just given a chance, and going through the 300, it was absolutely race over. There's no doubt he's ahead of the handicapper, and he could have a very bright future ahead of him. He actually just ran 1 pound above his current rating. He only could get the 8 pounds on that occasion. So he's half a pound or half a kilogram well in a year. My only concern is he's traveling for the first time and he's going around the bend for the first time. And I don't think Gavin wants to really bustle him early. He wants to just let him find his feet. So maybe he might be a little bit further back, turning for home than ideally Gavin would ideally want. But in saying that, you have to be super, super impressed with his latest one. So yes, he's my first pick, and my first pick by far. And then I've just backed him up with Juan Carlos, like Darren touched on. If you're willing to put a line through his last start, go back to his penultimate start. Racer Hallelujah has won again. Platinum Sky, the third horse on that occasion, has won again. He's a very, very nice horse, and so is Keeping the Peace. So if there is one to topple the favorite, or if the favorite does fluff his lines, Juan Carlos could be there to pick up the pieces. But Zeus, for all the boys, we're going to be shouting him home, and definitely we'd like to see him win this, and win this quite comfortably, because it could be anything.
Yeah, absolutely right. It could be anything. And it's his opportunity now to prove that he is something. This is his chance.
But, and I think the stable companion Twin Turbo is in there for a job to be done. I think that he's not going to be sticking around. I think he's going to make it an honest pace. He's not going to be turning into a crawl and a sprint. So Zeus will be given every opportunity, and we'd like to see him get the job done, and quite comfortably at that.
Yeah, let's go to Darren's play of the day. Darren, take us through your recommendation for Saturday.
Okay, so we start with my pick 6. I have gone wide in pretty much, 3 legs. I've gone 2 bankers, Ablon and Zeus, and then I've gone 3 horses with Shield of Roses, Under Your Spell and Big Burn. My best bet is Ablon. I'm very excited to see this horse back in action. I think he's got a bright future, and I think he'll win. My double for the day, Ablon and Zeus. And then my multiple play for the day, Majestic Mozart. He is handicapped to win. Back to the mile, I think, is going to suit him, and he should take a lot of beating. So Majestic Mozart to win, Ablon to win, Battle Force to place in the first 3, and Zeus to win.
Okay, that comes to 22-1 on the recommended, something like that, or you may get that price on the insure bet. Okay, let's, Daryl.
That's my pick 6 on screen there, Clyde. Full unit will be 1440. It is quite costly. If you want to take a chance and bank a Zeus at the back, where possibly if there's a scratching, add that in to double up. And then my value bets on the day, at his current odds of 10-1. Bahika, like you say, he has shortened since then, but I do believe it still represents some value. And on some form, he could be right there at the finish. And the Asmen are having their winners, so he comes from a yard that's starting to find their stride. So yes, I think you'll get a run for your money with regards to Bahika.
Okay, thank you. And then your weighted to win professional intro bet on Betway play of the day, race 5, number 1, Ablon at 9 to 10 win, and Bahika at 22 to 10 a place. Maybe have shortened, but if you know your friends well enough, 11 to 2. That's ultimately the recommendation on the professional play. Okay, from my perspective, I think Majestic Mozart, I did phone Andrew Fortune. I wanted to ask him what he thinks of the story, and he said he thinks they found the problem and they believe I'm going to take that Happy New Year away. He said they found the problem and it'll win. So he's quite confident, because I was worried about Species Runner, because I liked it last time, as you know, William, and he said, no, the weights, etc. This horse as well, he'll win it. So they're very confident. And Zeus, I think, also hard to beat. So for me, that's your double, recommended double, and something around 4 to 1. Don't forget, we want to come to Durban soon. Busy talking to the guys. I'll give you a date, limited to 100 people or thereabouts. We want to meet the Durbanites, weighted to win in its current format. And we'll have a show just for you guys. Not necessarily going to be aired to anybody else, just for you. And we want to have a chat to you and see how it all is out KwaZulu-Natal way. Our WhatsApp number is 0691643272. Please join if you haven't done so. Just send your name to that number and they'll add you. And that's ultimately the end of our show. And it was a good one. And it seems like quality racing on the Highveld, guys. I'm quite happy to see some good horses running. Hopefully the storm stays away and we're not going to be interrupted or anything like that. And things are strong right now. We need to win. We need to get make sure those doubles land tomorrow to get money.
Yeah, Clyde, if we have a good day, put a few pennies on High Velocity at Scottsville on Sunday. I think he's around about 8 to 1. You can just put a line through his last start. I think he'll be better up the straight, and he's going to go very close to winning.
Okay, brilliant. That's good to know. Have you looked at Scottsville by any chance, Darren?
I actually haven't. Usually I study a couple of days in advance, and
That's
I haven't
all right.
had a look at the Scottsville
Doesn't
card.
matter. Doesn't matter.
But I just hope the rain stays away in Turffontein. I don't want the penetrometer to go above 25, because then it can get tricky.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay. Got to get that double to land, otherwise how are we going to get to Durban if we don't, you know? So those horses have got to win. All right, boys, enjoy. Thanks so much.
Yeah, cheers,
See you soon.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Bye.